Warriors of Virtue. It's a strange movie for a lot of reasons. It features a lot of martial arts, and it's a fantasy kids movie. Before I go any further, I have to explain that the titular Warriors of Virtue are actually giant anthropomorphic kangaroos, or more properly, people in kangaroo prosthetics and costumes, a la Ninja Turtles, I suppose, is what this is really emulating here. But it's going for it in a much different way. It's a story about a boy in the real world. He's a super smart, super nice kid. So he gets, kind of bullied a little bit, and kids try to convince him to do something really dangerous. So they break into this, old sewage treatment plant or something, and there's, this pipe that they dare the kid to walk across. There's, this spinning whirlpool underneath it. We see him go across the pipe, and then he, of course, falls into the whirlpool. Almost immediately. So he falls into the whirlpool, and then he's transported, a la, Wizard of Oz kind of thing, to a magical land where he meets Kung Fu kangaroos. Yeah, and they're apparently these warriors of virtue, and they're these legendary warriors that represent the 5 elements. And this is Chinese 5 elements, being water, fire, earth, wood, and metal. They protect the land from evil, and meanwhile there's of course an evil guy that's subjugating the kingdom and blah blah blah, and one of the warriors is kind of gone rogue, or he's left the team for emotional reasons or some kind of thing, and blah blah blah, and the prophecy in this book or whatever that the kid has that only he can read or something like that because he's the chosen one or some I don't know. It got very never-ending story for a little bit without the giant creatures and just a bunch of kangaroos, which look really stupid, by the way. I mean, I get what they're going for here, though. They want to make this big fantasy adventure. They want to capture the kids that are into Ninja Turtles and martial arts kind of stuff, but they also want to appeal to the fantasy sort of storyline. PG, there's a lot of punching and kicking. There's a lot of good fight scenes and stuff in here. I mean, so I get what they're going for. And the kangaroo thing kind of makes sense because, they're doing a lot of wire stunts, right? So they kind of, leap everywhere, right? So that's what a kangaroo does. But why do they have to be fucking kangaroos? Couldn't they just be human guys, and the stunts would be just as good, the storyline would be exactly the same? But they made them kangaroos, which is really dumb, making it a blatant Ninja Turtles ripoff, even if it wasn't originally meant to be that. There's a big battle in the end, and the kid fulfills the prophecy or whatever and reads this book. The bad guy is really funny in this one. I don't know, he gives a pretty good performance as an insane person. And he gets some cool one-liners where he actually, he even quotes the movie The Warriors from back in the day. And he's like, "Warriors, come out and play." And then he, splits into 5 different versions of himself to fight all the Warriors of Virtue at the end of the movie. He's just, cackling and laughing and making dumb jokes, the whole time. And I got a kick out of that guy. I enjoyed his performance. But anyway, he's defeated in the end by the kangaroos, and so the kid solves this problem in magical fantasy kangaroo land or whatever. Then the movie flashes back to him in the sewage treatment facility in the real world, where they're still come on man, do it. And then so he snaps back to reality, and he's like, you know what? You're right, I don't need to do this, blah blah blah. Our protagonist stays out of trouble, and he stays a good kid, and he learns his lesson about virtue, and it's all good, and as if none of this had ever happened. Yeah, no, that was dumb. This was a totally dumb movie. It was boring. As far as a fantasy story goes, it's by the book, by the numbers. It wasn't terrible. There's some of the acting's not really that good. The bad guy was good. even though he was a little bit of overacting in there. I don't know, it was weird. So overall, what would I give this as a letter grade? This is a prime example of a C+. This is maybe something you would take your kids to see in the theater on a Saturday afternoon and just kind of sit there and eat popcorn and pass the time. It's a pass the time kind of movie. Why did it have to be fucking kangaroos?